to see that if the Phoenix Suns got the favorable end of that, because Bradley Beal has all the leverage, has every ounce of leverage that you could in this situation. First of all, he's an injury-prone player, so he could very well just say, "Oh, my toe. My toe, it hurts so bad. I don't even need to play on this awful team and mar my stats. I can just play. Oh, my toe." And then just wait off and just get paid regardless, right? So that's the first bit of leverage. Second of all, he has the no trade clause, which is one of only 2 players, I believe, right now who has that. Him and LeBron James have a no trade clause. So he doesn't have to go to a situation that is just awful, or at least, I guess, more awful than the one he's currently in. And thirdly, he has an exorbitant contract. So none of this means that he is going to be put into a less favorable situation than he has to. And really, the only thing that he's buying out is, hey, out of the millions upon millions that you're going to be making here, how much less is it going to cost for you to go to some other place that you're going to be play meaningful basketball, play meaningful minutes, and not just waste your time with a team that has 6 centers and 6 guards and trying to make the mishmash therein work. Like, how much less millions are you willing to take for that? And then how many less millions can we get back on our books? Like, that's the scientific chemistry that they're trying to figure out right now. Neil, did you have a thought that Bradley Beal can somehow get paid like $2 million and go away?
So here's my thought: is I have none, because I just absolutely don't care about the Phoenix Suns. So I appreciate you trying to include me in the conversation, Phil. But mark my words. I'm not going to plant my flag in this, but mark my words. There is not a person in the Valley who cares less about the Phoenix Suns than this guy right here. And the only reason I will ever mention anything involving the Phoenix Suns is if there's something big, like one of the players donates $1 million to charity, or he saves a damsel in distress while he's out and about in Scottsdale. That's all. The only reason you're going to hear me say anything.
Okay. Ralph, did you have any thoughts about Bradley Beal and his contract buyout potentially?
Not anymore. Neil just depressed.
He's just depressed.
I don't want to talk about NBA anymore.
Okay.
Oh, man.
You know what I do want to talk about?
What do you want to talk about?
The WNBA.
Yeah, I do too.
It's so foreign to me. It's so weird to hear Ralph not only say that he needs to talk about the WNBA, that he's the one driving this, saying we need to.
Well, let's
it's me driving it.
We've been talking about the WNBA now for a while, and we haven't been very positive about things, especially me.
I was going to say 2/3 of us have not been.
Well, yeah, you're the I guess the
glass
blind.
half full.
Yeah, he's the blind that'll eventually see.
Wow.
Anyway,
oof. Okay.
I think this should help you put your glasses on, because this proves everything that we've been talking about. It validates everything that we've been saying, and we get a ton of hate online when we talk about this stuff. And you know what? I don't care, because people online are just,
most of the people are a bunch of bots.
It's a bunch of keyboard warriors. I don't have anything better to do.
Yeah,
and we're weekend warriors.
That's right. And weekend warriors stab keyboard warriors. Anyway, so here's the deal. Right?
Okay.
They did an internal poll for who's the top position at certain player, who's the top player at certain positions in WNBA. And when they got to point guard, Caitlin Clark voted by her peers, the people in this WNBA that I've been saying are the biggest part of the problem, that the older generation of this league needs to just go away for it to actually grow. They voted her as the 9th best point guard. Not second, not third, 9th.
When she is inarguably a top 10 player in the league, period, let alone her position.
Let's break that down a little further.
Go ahead.
Right? So there was 3 levels of voting for this, right? The fans got a vote, the media got a vote, and the players got a vote. Okay. So it is unbelievable. Like you said, the players, as you would expect, voted Caitlin Clark first overall for the All-Star voting. Okay. The media voted for her apparently to be 3rd. I thought it was 4th at one point, but I'm looking at a CBS Sports site and it says 3rd. But yeah, like you said, Caitlin Clark was voted 9th, the 9th best guard. The 9th best guard in the WNBA.
Name
the
some of the
9th
names in front of her.
Best.
Do you see those?
Well, yeah. You know who one of the people that was voted ahead of her? Paige Beckers. Okay. Paige Beckers was voted 4th by the players. Sabrina
Ionescu.
Ionescu. Thank you. I was going to say Ionescu. Second, right? Alicia Gray is first. Now, again, I don't dispute these other players being better than Caitlin Clark, right? But the absolute disparity between okay, so here's my question. And this is not, by the way, an original take, but I absolutely agree with it. I'm going to promote this take. Here's the take, right? We all know that this entire season, teams have been game planning against Caitlin Clark. They've been face guarding her, like basically at half court, right?
Yeah,
they've been playing. Been playing super aggressive defense against her. Their game plans all revolve around stopping Caitlin Clark and then figuring out what to do with the rest of them. So here's my question: if Caitlin Clark is the 9th best point guard in the WNBA, why do you game plan for her? Why do you face guard her? Why are you so worried about her on the court? If that's the case. So it leads me to think maybe there's some other reason why they voted her 9th. Right. And again, you can't prove anything, right? But I still believe that a lot of that had, in my opinion, this is my professional opinion, whatever professional may be, I believe that this is just more of the animosity towards Caitlin Clark that the league has. Right. Because they didn't even give Paige Beckers the same shade. Now, is she good? Absolutely. I think, in my opinion, I think Caitlin Clark and Paige Beckers are going to run the league at some point, right? You're going to have a few others that jump in. But as far as point guards go, as far as people that set the table for the rest of the team, those two are it, right? You could argue they're very, very similar in style and everything, and they grew up playing together or against each other a lot because one was in Minnesota, one was in Iowa. But ultimately, I think this just is another indication, in my opinion, of the absolute disrespect that the league has for her. Because to her face, they'll be like, "Oh, you're great," but then when they vote secretly, like, "Yeah, we're gonna slide you down."
Right. It feels childish and a little bit of groupthink here, right? Because I'd imagine that it's almost to the forefront of every person who's played in the league pre-Caitlin Clark to see, oh, this is what the league was. We've worked and toiled and just had absolute, lunchbox mentality where it's like we are out here trying to make it for an equal pay. We're trying to make it for equal viewership. We're trying to do all we can to promote this league. And all it took was one person to come in and drive and garner interest. And I can completely empathize on how frustrating that could be, right? Like if we were to be on this show and we didn't have the millions of viewers that we had, and all of a sudden somebody comes in and is just like adds, and all they do is just add little bits of just saying, boom, mayonnaise, like I'd be frustrated. That's like, okay, we become the mayonnaise show.
Mayonnaise.
Yeah, I'm just saying, just something utterly absurd and ridiculous.
If you do scratch mayonnaise, that's actually pretty good. It's healthy for you too.
And so somebody just comes in and says mayonnaise, boom, and something, and like we become the mayonnaise show. I'd be a little frustrated that we've been putting out quality content, that we've been out here talking sports like for darn near years, and all of a sudden we become the mayonnaise brothers. Like it would be frustrating to be like, all right, I guess now because Steve over here is saying mayonnaise, we have to adhere to that, and we have to. But it's like, you know what? The moment that we fly private jet to the next remote, I'd be kind of all right with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I'd be Duke Mayo, mayonnaise. Yeah, mayonnaise. I'm the mayonnaise. I'd be signing. I'd get a little tattoo of mayonnaise. I'd pretty much be in there. So that is the difference, though, is that it's frustrating to be on the outside looking in and being like, guys, why are you looking the gift horse in the mouth? Why are you biting the hand that feeds you? Why are you doing so much of this when really it's like you're just being petty? When really you're just like, I can understand, I can empathize and get the emotional frustration that comes with that of being like, we work so hard and now somebody else who's barely done anything and has yet to pay her full dues that we have is getting all this acclaim and accolades. I get it, but at the same time, why give in, guys?
Okay, first off, Paul Freeborn is on YouTube.
Hey, Freeborn.
Hey, I'm a viewer. Maybe not millions, but I'm here.
No, yay!
He's millions.
He
accounts for 1 million.
He gets the firm handshake from you the next time you see him.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Paul, thanks for participating.
A firm, not sweaty handshake.
So, Phil, I hear you, but I feel like you're in the corner of the room and you see what's going on, but you don't want to really say what it could be. You'd rather just, I don't know.
Well, here,
I don't know. I think it's obvious what's happening here. I'm not gonna get into it, but I think it's very obvious.
Oh, so you're gonna go to the corner with me and not stay with?
I'm gonna go to the corner and pull you by the ear into the center of the room.
Let's.
I know you like that.
Let's add. Wow. Okay, that's weird. Let's add on to this. Okay, kind of to Ralph's point, maybe not directly, but here's something else. Again, kind of talking about the sentiment or the attitude that's driving a lot of this. We talked about Caitlin Clark and the All-Star voting by the players. Okay, which was vastly different than the fans. Okay, so here's the other thing. I think this Caitlin Clark hatred isn't just limited anymore to her. It's limited. It's now expanded to her team, the Indiana Fever.
I do agree with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And God bless Sophie Cunningham for being the enforcer.
That's right.
I will leave it at that because if I say anything else, my wife will get mad at me. So, tell you what. But anyway, here's something else. And some intrepid people on social media caught this. So y'all know about the Commissioner's Cup, right? It's basically like the in-season tournament.
About that,
yeah. So the in-season tournament. Anyway, did you know that ESPN, and there's my other culprit there, ESPN, they were queuing up their post-game video, their post-game stream on YouTube, and they had to put it, you know how it is, you have to put a placeholder image there while you're waiting for the countdown to the event. So they had it there so that people could know when to go to the event, but before the event actually started, they had a placeholder. The placeholder graphic had a picture, and a bunch of intrepid social media people caught it. It said, it's basically, they already had the Lynx dominating the Fever. So the placeholder that was in place before the end of the game was full reaction, Lynx dominate Fever to win Commissioner's Cup. And by the way, when they posted that, the Fever were leading. The Lynx were leading in the first quarter. But after starting in the second quarter, the Fever pulled ahead, and they were never, ever, ever behind after that. As far as I know, I think that's the case. But what's so funny is that probably about halftime, they post this placeholder for the video. And then, of course, you know, when the game actually, when the outcome was actually known, they backtracked and they replaced it with the video that said, Fever stun Lynx. Did I say Linux? I'm a nerd. Fever stun Lynx to win Commissioner's Cup, right? Was it that stunning? I mean, in principle, maybe it was stunning, or maybe it's because everybody was hyping it up so much that it was probably, you know who it was stunning to? It was probably stunning more to ESPN.
Yeah.
Because I will say this is where it's not just the players in the WNBA. They are in collusion with ESPN.
Oh.
In the media to take down Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever.
But why?
Well, you realize that Caitlin Clark wasn't a part of that championship winning team.
And that's the ironic part. She was injured. She was on the solid. She wasn't even in the game.
But my question again is why? I don't understand. It makes no sense. A league that has never made any money, that loses its butt every year, that should have been folded 10 years ago, is only surviving because the NBA gives it money every year, right? A player comes in that's a once-in-a-generational player, provides all this new fanfare, this energy, gets the league on the map. Why do you treat this person like this? Why do you treat this team that she's part of? I don't understand. Is hate that great? Is hate that powerful that you'd have to treat this person and now this team that way? I don't understand it. It makes no sense. All I'm going to say to you haters, that the league, I think ESPN's full of it. Be careful what you ask for.
I do think she is polarizing.
Oh, I mean, the topic is polarizing. So here's where so this is where I'm going to, with all this in mind, Phil, as promised in our production meetings, aka our text chain,
a long meeting too.
I am going to plant my flag before we go to break. Before we go to break, I'm planting my flag.
Plant this.
Do it.
We do the flag thing. We know what we're getting ourselves into.
He is all about plant flagging.
Caitlin Clark should leave the WNBA, get a bunch of investors and financial backers, and start another professional basketball league in North America. Because these systemic issues
Pretty aggressive.
are probably not going away. Okay. As long as ESPN still exists, as long as they're doing what they're doing, they're going to be colluding with the powers that be in the WNBA that want this to happen a certain way. The cancerous attitude is so prevalent, in my opinion, that it's never going away. So I say, Caitlin Clark, go get you some backers, so get some investors, go get some big names. I am certain that you could start your own basketball league or start a basketball league, and it would be wildly successful, and it would turn a profit, and the women who played would get paid very well, and it would be fantastic. And you don't have to deal with all of the whatever idiocy is going on within the ranks of the WNBA. And then you could tell ESPN, sorry, you don't get to cover us because you guys have it out for me. So too bad.
Let's do this. Let's it's break time.
Break time.
Let's take a break on that. When we come back, we'll finish this topic. We got to talk about Red Panda.
We do. That's very
We
important.
must.
We have to talk about Red
We have to talk about Red Panda.
So that'll
National
be quick.
treasure.
Oh boy, I don't know about that.
So let's take a break. When we come back, we'll get into Red Panda. We'll finish up on Neil's flag and where it got planted. It's the Weekend Warriors right here on 1580, The Fanatic.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Live and local.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, important news. You know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt. Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS action. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
If your family's summer style needs a little pick-me-up, you've got to go to Kohl's. They have everything from polos and cute dresses to comfy kids outfits and Sephora essentials, plus more. Not to mention, you can get 20% off some of your faves and earn Kohl's cash. Yup, summer's already looking more stylish, all thanks to Kohl's. Select styles. Offer ends July 6th. Some exclusions apply. Coupons and Kohl's cash do not apply to Sephora. See store or Kohls.com for details.
I'm an Arizona truck driver. I deliver food, medicine, supplies, and hope.
And during times of crisis, I support our communities. But every day I see people putting lives and families at risk.
Distracted driving is deadly, period. Be aware, be safe, and visit sharetheroadaz.com and find tips on how to drive safely around trucks.
This message is sponsored by the Arizona Trucking Association Foundation.
2025 NASCAR Championship Weekend. October 31st through November 2nd. Experience the thrill of NASCAR racing at Phoenix Raceway. October 31st, it's the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Championship. November 1st, it's the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship. And it all culminates with the NASCAR Cup Series Championship on Sunday, November 2nd. This event will sell out. Go to PhoenixRaceway.com for more. Don't miss the NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway. Get your tickets now.
Download our free sports app and stay up with all the latest sports news, scores, highlights, and more.
Or
stream us live anywhere
at 1580thefanatic.com.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Arizona's home for sports.
So, hey, Phil, I can hear myself. So, in honor of America, in honor of the Commissioner's Cup, there was a very. Oh, by the way, before we talk about that, real fast, we've got our streaming issues fixed. So, thank you for all those patient people who listen to us. We value. So, these are the real fans, by the way. These are the real fans of the show. The ones who not only listen to us on Independence Day weekend, but they also stuck around for a technical glitch and stuck around to watch the live stream. You are our best fans. Thank you very much.
Can we catch up on the text line, or you have some more?
Hang on a second. I
Go
got to
ahead.
talk about the
We have a
text
few
line.
more butts we need to kiss.
Speaking of the text line, mwah. Speaking of the text line, if you want to get involved in being part of the fun, hit us up on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, or live stream comments on our live streams. That would be X, that would be YouTube, that would be Facebook. Go ahead, Ralph. Let's catch up on the text line.
Oh, okay. I'm ready now. All right.
I'm ready. You go ahead.
We're also on the 1580X account. So anyway.
1580 X.
Okay.
Rated XXX for your pure enjoyment.
You almost said pleasure.
On the chat. So we have on YouTube chat. So that chat we had before, that was from Thundar the Barbarian.
Thundar.
He says, very nice shirt today, Ralph. Let's hope for a better result tonight than last night. And I saw the John Boy video about Caitlin Clark getting mugged on court.
Yeah, that video has been around. That was, but my favorite part about that wasn't that. I mean, that was obviously heinous, but
I do like
Sophie,
this shirt.
Sophie Cunningham, like enforcing afterwards, she instantly became the second most popular player in the WNBA at that point.
Her jersey sold out.
Yeah, it did. It's unbelievable because she'd been with the Mercury for years,
Of course.
and nobody really knew much about her. But then she shows up and she's Caitlin Clark's enforcer, and bam. So
Bam.
you know what? Listen, all Caitlin Clark does is make it rain money. All she does is dollar bills, y'all. Let's go. Bring out the cash.
All right.
So I'm telling you, man, if Caitlin Clark does what I hope she does and gets out of the WNBA and starts her own professional league, those dollar bills are going to rain down for everybody associated with her. And all the haters, you can go do whatever you want. I don't care.
The Triple C League. Caitlin Clark cashes. See? It just rolls off the tongue.
That was really difficult. Ralph?
Blissful Hayes is on Facebook. It says, good morning, Ralph, Neil, and Philip. Have a great show.
Thank you.
Blissful Hayes. He's
Happy
the one
5th.
guy every week that wishes us a great show.
So, Ralph, set us up with the situation involving the famous Red Panda.
So I would hope you guys know who Red Panda is, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, we do, but why don't you inform some of the
So she does the
listeners?
halftime shows at a lot of different events. I mean, a lot of different NBA games she's done it.
But what does
WNBA
she do,
games.
though? What is her...
She spins dishes and cups, and she gets on a unicycle. She's kind of circusy, I would call her. Right?
Okay.
And she's been doing this for a while. I mean, she started when she was pretty young, right? And she's getting up there a little bit. And so she's at the Commissioner's Cup, the famous Commissioner's Cup, and she's doing her little halftime routine. For the inaugural famous Commissioner's Cup.
This wasn't the inaugural, but whatever.
Her tooth got a little long, and she kind of fell off her unicycle. Her unicycle that
what
looked like a
show
unicorn.
What mushrooms were you taking when you watched this?
Fractured her wrist.
People were afraid she became Dead Panda.
She went down. She looked like Dead Panda. She wasn't moving. People got scared.
No!
They called the zookeepers. I mean, Phoenix Zoo was out there in 5 minutes to check her out. They took her back.
The game took place in Minnesota. How was the Phoenix Zoo involved?
I don't know.
They
her
were
wrist
watching.
actually disappeared.
She's an
for a
endangered
second.
species.
Right. They thought her wrist was gone, but it came back. It's just fractured. Poor Red Panda.
Well, the official word is she has
alive.
a broken wrist.
It's fractured. Yes.
Broken wrist. and
Fractured.
And she's out of the hospital.
She came. Well, it's not a hospital. It was a vet.
Oh, stop.
Let's do
What
this
is
right.
your problem?
She's out of
What
the
is
vet.
your problem?
Hey, vet cost twice as much. So the X-ray alone was $600.
What is going on here?
I'm just saying.
What's Red
Panda
Panda's-
ain't making
What
that
did
kind
Red
of money.
Panda do to you?
What's Red Panda's real name? Do you even know?
I think it's Gray Panda.
Oh my god.
This is horrible.
Poor Red Panda.
Phil, what show are we on?
We are on the Bash aging gracefully
Yeah.
median acts, and sure, does she drop a few bowls here and there? I guess
The weekend ageists.
She didn't fall
what
far.
we
It
are.
was kind of like watching the 7 Little Johnsons, right? when they run and they fall, it's not a far fall. It's a short fall.
Ralph,
But
you
still
stop
can
it.
get hurt.
That
You can
there's a
get
reason.
hurt.
It's not called the softwood. It's not called the fun to fall on wood. It's called the hardwood.
Right. And
where
she found
legends
out how
are
hard
made.
that wood was. And apparently it was pretty hard. And once you get
Can I
older,
pull
you
that?
can't take
show.
when you get older, you don't take hardwood very well. You take the
Oh,
softwood.
Who are these people?
Well, it's
My
true,
goodness.
right? As we get
Wow.
older, if we fall on a hard surface, we get hurt.
I swear, if you don't make this a social media clip and put this up, there is no justice in the world, man.
But there is no justice. Oh wow. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, this is what happens on the Independence Day weekend.
I do-
Ironically, we have a lot of things.
Red
to talk
Panda
about.
is resting somewhere, probably doped up on morphine due to a very like a
now-
career-threatening injury. And
Career-threatening.
Ralph's over here having his schluxen and his
Yeah,
giggles.
He's schluxing.
Yeah.
Ralph's got to listen. Yeah, she's got to listen to this. Some random radio show guy in Phoenix ripping on
Phil,
her.
this is a family show. We don't say schluxen.
Oh my goodness!
What in the
This is
heck?
awful.
Yeah, you should.
This is just horrendous.
We have let me get off this topic real quick because we have
Thank
another
Just like
Facebook
she got
chat.
off that unicycle.
Is that all right?
How dare I?
Red
I feel
Panda,
so
Red
awful
Panda,
of myself.
we do love you. We're sorry that you got hurt.
Ralph
We-
doesn't even know your
we-
name,
we
which
do-
is
we-
pretty
I don't know
typical.
her name.
She can change her name to Humpty Dumpty because she
I
took
don't-
the big one.
I don't know. We wish you a speedy recovery on your fracture and hope that you're one day spinning those dishes.
Oh, just get
On
to
your
the
You can't
next
even-
topic.
unicorn,
you
not
can't put the words
unicycle.
together. You can't put the words together.
Just
Move from the unicycle to a good segue here.
It'd be
Can
cool
this-
if it was a unicorn, though. That'd be really neat.
Yeah, I think
Panda
the
on a
unicorn would
unicorn?
overtake the novelty of Red Panda at that point.
Yeah. And why Red Panda? Is he communist? I don't know. But we'll have to ask those questions when
The
when
red
we get
panda
it
is
back.
a type of panda. You
I don't wanna
you
hear this.
uncultured swine.
When I hear red, I think communism.
Oh,
All right.
my goodness.
Yeah, that made sense.
Blissful Hayes says, "Hey Neil, great idea for Caitlin to start a new league. She should partner with Michael Jordan. He can finance the league until it starts making money on its own. Actually, that'd be a good partner.
Oh my God! Have you seen what happens whenever Michael Jordan owns something? Oh, awful.
Well, here's the thing. I agree with that, except for the fact that honestly, Caitlin Clark probably's got a close to as much money as Michael Jordan does now.
no, dude. He
Not
sold
right,
an NBA.
Yeah, well,
team
here's the thing.
recently.
Michael Jordan's funds are all tied up in gambling debt, so I don't know, man.
I mean, it's possible.
Gambling debt, the cigars. I mean,
Don't
which
disparage Michael Jordan.
I don't mind this. What is he?
You
he's
can
not
do
a
all
s-
you want toward Red Panda, but
He's
you can't
not a.
touch Michael
He's not a
Jordan.
saint. He's
Just
not.
saying.
He's not the Pope.
To some, he is, Neil.
Oh, that's
To Red
true. I
Panda
didn't
he
think
is.
about that. All right,
I really
so
want to focus more on Red Panda, but we're going to move on.
what are we going to move on to?
Let's talk. You know what? It's time.
It's time to
Oh,
talk about.
It's this week in the NL West. We need music for that. We don't have baseball music. We need some.
Do
Baseball
you have the baseball music?
I don't have any music.
I
It feels
thought-
the music, man.
I thought you had. Let's go. Dun, 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 dun,
I do, but it's not,
better
I'm
up.
not hooked up to the studio.
Oh,
so
I see. So
Phil
you're
would
going to
have
make
to
Phil do all the work.
He doesn't have anything.
He doesn't have any. He come up pretty quickly.
He's still
though.
focused on Red Panda.
He's defending Red Panda from your obvious ageist slurs against her.
How can I be ageist? I'm aged.
Yeah, but it.
It's like Bullcheese fighting more.
I love my mother-in-law dearly.
Oh,
My
somebody must be.
mother-in-law is a senior citizen, and my
Wow.
mother-in-law loves to rip on other senior citizens, even though she is one too.
But that's fair. You could do that.
Well, that's what you're doing.
Once you're a part of the tribe, you can then destroy from within.
So Phil.
I guess so.
All right. So this week in the NL West. Oh, there it is.
Yes. It's a beautiful day. Let's talk about the National League West.
I just said that.
So how about
Whoa. I just said that. You can't repeat what I said.
I just did.
Guys, let's talk about the NL West.
Okay, when he does it, it's okay.
I'm fine with Phil. You annoy me.
Oh, I do, huh? Oh, this ought to be fun.
Wait, so let's start with two obvious things.
Okay, what's that? First one's
Thing number one. How lucky is Max Muncy? If you watch the game, I think it was Wednesday night or Thursday. He's catching a ball from the guys.
It was Wednesday. He was saying that.
Wednesday. So he's catching a ball from the guy attempting to steal up for it, and the guy just barrels into his knee. His knee goes all different. It looked like Red Panda's wrist.
Oh my God.
His knee went everywhere. It looked like the obvious torn every ligament. Right? He was down in pain. Max Muncy was pretty good. He was writhing in pain. He got up and then carried him off. Everybody's thinking he I even told you.
Yes.
He's going to right? Turns out negative on MRI. He's out 6 weeks. How lucky is this?
You know, when I saw that injury, I honestly, it felt to me like he was going to be okay eventually. Because I've seen those. Well, no, I've seen those. Yeah, like
it wasn't like a bad.
No, I saw those hyperextensions before, and that's what it looked like to me, was a hyperextension. So I was like, you know, there may have been some really bad damage, but at first I'm thinking, you know, I've seen injuries like that in the past, and I thought those tend to not look be as bad. It's the ones where there's no contact and they fall over. That's when you know they're instantly bad. So anyway, when I saw that, I wasn't as pessimistic as you were, perhaps, but obviously it could have ended very poorly. And it didn't. So there you go.
Well, good thing for that.
But what was the big story of that game? It wasn't next month's injury.
And this was a cool story. I know we're not letting Paul talk because he doesn't. But anyway, he's looking with Kershaw. Clayton Kershaw gets his 3,000K, does it in front of his home fan, does it in front of his family. It was phenomenal. I think it was like a 100th pitch.
It's the last pitch of his outing.
100th
the 100th pitch.
They were going to let him stay until the 9th until he got that bad boy. They were not letting the 9th.
If his arm would have fell off, they would have let him.
Exactly.
But his 100th pitch of the game, he gets his 3,000K. It was an emotional, fantastic moment. If you're a Dodger fan, it was very emotional to see Kershaw get to that. I know I was thrilled. I'm sure you were thrilled.
If you don't appreciate the historical significance of Clayton Kershaw being only the 20th player in Major League Baseball history and only the 4th lefty to get 3,000 strikeouts, if you're so blinded by team tribal rage that you can't appreciate that, you're a horrible baseball fan.
If you're seeing red,
you're not even
Panda,
a baseball fan.
Red Panda, you need to stop.
She
seeing
could have
red,
died.
Panda.
She could have retired off of that. My God.
Pandas don't live that long, do they?
Oh my God.
I'm not really sure.
You are a bamboo.
What are we talking about?
Hey, come back for hour 2. We'll talk about Panda lifespan. We got more MLB. It's the Weekend Warriors on 1580, the Fanatic.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. It's just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona, and they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike, and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open-air zoo, when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. That's when the afternoon took an exciting turn. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful VC turbo engine, well, we had more than enough time to see all the animals. Whoa! And outrun a few!
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now, Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000 MSRP. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. 2024 Nissan Altima, Kicks, Leaf, Rogue, Sentra, and Versa. All prices are manufacturer's suggested retail price. Manufacturer's suggested retail price excludes destination and handling charges, tax, title, license, and options. Dealer sets actual prices.
Your best plan to retire might be right under your roof. This is Rob Canyer, and for over 20 years, I've helped people discover how they can utilize a portion of their equity in their home as a coordinated strategy in retirement planning, thus creating additional monthly cash flow, paying less taxes, and making their retirement assets last longer. This is a safe and proven retirement strategy for qualified homeowners age 62 and older. All you have to do is reverse your thinking. Call me, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's the weekend! Warriors! Warriors! Come to play! Yeah! Here we go!
All right, everybody, it's 11 o'clock and on this beautiful, warm Saturday morning, Independence Day weekend. I'm Ralph Romano alongside my partner in crime, the legend Neil Lynch. We have Philip Amrine in the control room.
And
this
Brown
is
Panda, thank you.
It's just the Weekend Warriors Red Panda edition.
Listen, if you want to get in on the Red Panda conversation.
Independence Day.
Oh, man. Something just happened to my laptop. Am I on the video still?
I don't know.
Am I on video?
No.
You know what? I don't know what happened, but honestly, it doesn't matter because ultimately what matters is you can hear me. What matters is if you were out there in Radio Land, we've not had a single text. Just
chats.
This entire we've had chats and we appreciate all of you chatting.
We
chatting
love chitting and chatting around here.
But we have had absolutely zero texts on the text line.
It's just never happened.
That's not happened. So we need you to step up. 888-368.
Get that hot dog out of your hand and text with your thumbs something.
The Red Panda would love it if you texted in. The Red Panda would appreciate your patronage of the show. What is going on here, kids?
All right. Well, you guys talked about Clayton Kershaw. Before we leave that, I got 2 important things for you about that.
What's that? What's that?
First of all, do you think anybody, and you very valiantly made this us against the world, Neil, so congratulations. But
You're welcome.
Do you think that that anybody outside of the Dodgers really cared about 3,000?
I do. Because baseball people do. If you love baseball, you care about this is history, right?
Does it mean anything anymore?
It's like sports people. When history happens in your sport, you care about it.
Here's why it means something.
Okay,
go ahead.
The reason why it means something, and I'm sure I just stepped on Ralph's touchdown call. I'll let you expound on this because you're the pitching guru.
No,
I am
fine.
not. I'll leave with this, and then Phil or Ralph can continue. Based on how pitchers are managed in the modern game, unless that changes, Kershaw might very likely be the last pitcher in the history of Major League Baseball to get 3,000 strikeouts in a career.
Let me add to that: 3,000 strikeouts with one team.
Oh, and that's even
one team, yeah.
on a higher level. Yes,
that'll never happen again. We'll never see that again.
Can I give an interesting theory that I think is part of the reason why Kershaw accomplished this in the quickest amount of pitches?
Do not say steroids.
No. I wouldn't dare. No, it would actually hurt my heart if like Clayton Kershaw came out and like used steroids. He's like one of the good guys.
He is absolutely one of the good guys.
No, he's very charitable and all that stuff. No. I'd say that he was this weird grandfathered in athlete of a yesteryear era where he still was a part of the crew that could pitch, in theory, an entire game. So he still had that legacy, that stature to call his own shots and still be able to do that, while also entering the era of home run or nothing ball, meaning that he was able to get the volume while also benefiting from the, like, if I make a mistake, it's awful, right? It's a home run for sure. But if I succeed, they're going to strike out a lot more often than they wouldn't otherwise. So right now, I think that whereas people's strikeouts will be nerfed, pitchers will be nerfed on their strikeouts due to volume. Like, they won't be able to go beyond 4 innings, right? So like it's almost by definition going to be impossible. But having the best of both worlds in this sense of getting to 3,000 strikeouts, I think is something that he is lonely qualified for, because he was kind of intergenerational in the pitching world.
Hey, before you move on, can you let me in?
Let me in.
Let me into your heart, Phil.
What's the password, Neil?
The password is "The British are coming."
I was thinking Red Panda, but that'll work too.
1 if by land, 2 if by sea.
So,
woohoo! I'm back.
All of a sudden, texts are popping up on the text.
Yes, I love it.
No, and I think it's because our text line was down.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, we have text all over the place.
Okay, well, let's.
Ralph, we're gonna have to catch up on this.
See, Ralph.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's catch up on some text.
This is what I talked to you about earlier. You said a couple shows ago we missed a lot of texts. I
You
think
did.
there's something. There's something.
You missed them because of me.
No, please.
So real quick, before I read the text line, let me give you some facts about red pandas.
Oh
They
my
lick
God.
themselves clean like house cats. They eat about 20,000 bamboo leaves a day.
As well they should.
I'm done. I just wanted to let you know that.
Thank you, Ralph.
And they make more in a
This
year
is
than
Ralph
I do.
Romano's Wild Kingdom.
They wrap their tails around themselves to keep warm.
Are their tails that long?
I wish I had a tail that long.
I thought that they had like little butt tails, like a corgi.
Little butt tails.
I was focused on the fact they lick themselves to make clean. But
Yeah,
I'm
you
sure
are.
you would.
You focused on that so hard.
All right, let's go to.
Let's reconnect with the text line.
Holy moly! I know Rich has been trying to, a bitter Dolphin fan. He said he's convinced that, Phil blocked him from our text line because of the whole Dolphin.
Oh my God. I cannot wait for
this Dolphin
NFL
shaming?
I know. I cannot wait for NFL season to start this year, just so I can make an even worse bet this upcoming year to mask the one that I've had to wear the entirety of last season.
All right, here we go. Baker's cocky hen. All right, here we go. Baker's cocky hen.
Okay, thank you for all
the
of
man
you
that
for
the man
being
that
patient.
you complimented last week said he was very astute. And
Oh, of course he is. He's quite intelligent.
so this is going to go back a little bit. But so why are the two most hated basketball players both in Indiana? Halliburton gets the male version of this treatment. The other guys don't need to resort to violence to prove their point. Most of WNBA players are much less talented than Clark. They only have violence to resort to. Jealous women torching their whole world. Is this a new phenomenon?
We're just gonna let that one percolate right there. Let that one. He said his piece. I appreciate that. It is a free country, as far as we know.
Clayton
So-
Kershaw, just straight down the middle one. We'll let go.
There
as
you
a
go.
straight.
That's right.
Hey, Baker's got call us later. We'll answer it offline. Bitter Dolphin fan said, what? I can't say that.
You can't read.
I can't say that, Rich. Last season, none of Clark's teammates ever stood up for her. Not
That's
Joe
true.
Cunningham did this season. You would never see that in the NHL. That is so true.
Oh, in the NHL,
Both-
no,
both of
you've
those
got
are true, yeah.
You've got enforcers. Yeah.
And then he said, I kept refreshing to see if the show was on. I was convinced somehow Phil blocked me from listening.
Yeah, no, the NHL has very much the untouchables mantra. They injure one of ours, we put one of theirs on the morgue.
And Sport Girl is on a text line. Sports Girly, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Sports Girly.
I texted in. You must have missed it. I said Will Levis would love the Mayonnaise show.
Oh, there we go. Bam! Mayonnaise.
Bam! And then we got Thundar the Barbarian sending us a picture.
What is the picture, sir?
A picture of a pitcher or just a
Picture
picture?
of a red panda.
Aw,
Just chilling.
that's sweet.
All right.
I like that.
So
Are we caught up now?
We are now officially caught up.
Woo!
Last thing before we move on from Clayton Kershaw. I'm just curious, since you guys are self-proclaimed highest Dodger fans of all time. Do you
Yes.
guys know? I'm not going to go. So I have a list of all the catchers who caught one of his strikeouts. I'm not going to go through all of them because like some of them would get really obscure. Like Carlton Lure is over here on like 2 strikeouts. But do you know of everybody who's like 100 and above? Can you name them? I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4,
100
5,
above
6,
what?
7. 100 strikeouts.
All
How many-
the catchers who have caught Clayton Kershaw over 100 times. Well, Austin Barnes is
strikeouts.
easily one of them.
Austin Barnes is not number 1, but he is number
He's
2.
on there.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's on there. Yeah, 551 strikeouts.
AJ Ellis
Is number 1, 920
Thank
strikeouts.
you very much.
You got 1, 2, 3, 4.
How about
5
Russ? How about Russell Martin?
Exactly, 379 strikeouts. You have 1, 2, and 4.
Is Will Smith on there?
Will Smith is there, 251.
Yeah. He was pretty close. That's all I got, man. That's all I know. Oh no. Yasmani Gratterall.
Yeah, Grandal. But yes,
Grandal.
yes.
I said Gratterall. It's Grandal. Yeah, Gratterall's the pitcher that we can't get healthy.
You have the top 5. Very
Yasmani
good.
Grandal.
And Ralph, you got
I
any
don't
more?
know who else there would be. You have to really think about that. Think about some backup guys.
Yeah, there's one guy who I think was here during like the early, like when he first came in, like who was the big guy.
Johnny Bench.
Not Johnny Bench.
All
right, I'll give him to you.
Cal Ripken Jr.
We said Ellis. You said, but you say Martin.
Yeah, said Russell
Yeah.
Martin.
Yeah, you guys said the top 5. So you guys
got
very
top
impressive.
5.
Yeah, Rod Barhas.
Oh yeah, good old Rod Barhas. I
don't
don't remember him at all.
Why?
And Diana Navarro had 106 of those strikeouts.
Yeah, I remember none of those guys.
And
Navarro.
Rod Barhas had 171 of them. Will Smith only has 251, and you remembered his, so he only has 80 more. But
Well, Will Smith's the current
because
catcher.
he's been
so-
hurt the whole time that Smith has been in place.
exactly,
That's true.
You know, Dundar the Barbarian says,
Who?
Don't mock the Dodger fans, Phil."
Yeah, Phil.
I
And then he
don't.
said Ellis, Barnes, and Martin.
There we go.
Yeah, Phil.
Phil.
Don't mock us, man.
I'm not.
Phil.
See, it's always the Dodger fans against the world, and it's like that. Yeah, you guys are so feisty. You guys are just like
Feisty.
like my
We're
dog
so-
Elway, just ready to tear it up at any point in time.
We're so
So,
zesty.
Let's switch to a not as good team. I heard the D-back had a fan that got banned. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, that yes.
What happened? I don't know what happens. That's why I'm asking.
So historically, he's stolen a couple of home run balls on behalf of the Diamondbacks that have helped them, and it's like happened. I forget what the amount was. I want to say it was like 5 times over the span of like 8 years, and he got banned. Yeah.
So
and-
this is a guy who's I forget his name, but he sits out in the outfield. He's right on the wall.
Yeah.
Not
And
Nathan, is it?
No, it was
He
not.
should get
It was
banned.
not. It was not Nathan.
Okay.
It was an older gentleman who apparently has had season tickets for years. And yeah, that's the whole funny part is he's done this more than once. Like this was not the first time he got in trouble for interfering with a hit ball. So now the Diamondbacks have finally said, you know what, enough's enough. Everybody's getting banned from fields this year, so you're next. So he is now officially no longer welcome.
Yeah, he's a season ticket
Diamondbacks
holder
game.
too.
Well,
So
and
he's
he
been
lost
banned.
his season.
Yeah, been banned for the rest of this
Wow.
season.
Lost his season tickets, probably.
Wow, that'll cost him $50. That's terrible.
Oh my god, you're so bad. You're a horrible
Oh
person.
my gosh.
All right, let's go to the. I'm done with that about them. You know, I will say this: the Dodgers, who have not played very good ball, who got beat in a football game last night,
Yeah, exactly.
have how many game lead on the Diamondbacks?
They have a 12.5 game lead on the Diamondbacks right
All
now
right. Might drop.
because the Diamondbacks keep losing games to the
Oh, is
Giants
that why?
and to the Royals.
Neil with just awe-inspiring stuff.
That was-
You know why they have?
You know
all
why?
those-
Because they keep losing. You know why you can breathe? Because oxygen.
That's incredible.
If you lose, you fall far. Neil,
One
Listen,
plus
you're
one,
not gonna listen.
phenomenal.
Listen, you
Phenomenal.
have to pay money to the Athletic, to the New York Times, to get this kind of insight, and
I
you get
love
it
it.
for free here on these on these
absolutely love
airwaves.
It's like when you see them interviewing the team after they win a game. So, what did you do to win? Well, we scored more points. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you.
We came
Exactly.
together as a team and we did it. We
Okay, real
won.
quick. How many games back are the Rockies right now?
39.5.
35 and a
That was
half.
close.
Not bad.
Wow.
So
I said they'd be 35.
you know
but
what
they
the
all
odds? You know what the odds are in on DraftKings? According to DraftKings, the odds of them winning the National League West. What are the
It
odds?
has
It's
to
got to
be.
be 1,000,000 to 1.
No, it's not even 1 million. It'd be something like absurd. Like it's like plus plus 1,000 or something.
It's plus 100,000. Plus 100,000.
So it would be 1 million to 1. No, I'm thinking wrong. No, so yeah, it is 1,000 to 1 because
It's 10,000, 100,000 to 1.
it
You
can't be
kidding me?
100,000 to 1 because it'd be 100,000 to 100, meaning that you lower that.
Okay.
You lower that to 1,
Oh
it would
my
be
gosh.
1,000. So
Well,
you bet
it's
$1.
insane. Whatever it is.
No, that
it's
is
insane.
absurd. That is incredible.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for the math lesson.
All right.
All right.
Jeez Louise.
Let's talk All-Star game starters.
Oh,
So
yes.
here's the starters. I'm
So
gonna
the
go through-
Dodgers
Uh,
entire lineup.
You be quiet.
That's
You-
not true,
sir.
actually.
You be quiet, sir. Sir. Okay.
Sorry, sir.
Red Panda. All right. All-star game lineups for the American League. Catcher is Cal Raleigh from the Mariners. I think we all agree on that one.
Oh, absolutely.
Ding.
The big dumper.
The
Love
big
that guy.
dumper. First base, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. from the Blue Jays.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Absolutely.
It's okay. Second base, Gleyber Torres from the Tigers.
Yep, it's all right.
Yeah, why not? I guess he's all right.
Third base, Jose Ramirez from the Guardians/Indians.
Not my choice, but okay. Just kidding.
Shortstop, friend of the show, Jacob Wilson from the A's.
Da, 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 da.
Welcome,
Jacob
amigo.
Wilson. That's right.
Outfield, Aaron Judge, or as my son gave me a picture of, Aaron Fudge from the Yankees.
Wow.
Overrated.
Okay, that's dumb.
Just kidding.
Overrated. Uh-huh.
Outfield, Javi Baez from the Tigers.
Yep.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And Riley Green from the Tigers.
Yep.
Three
Sure.
Tigers.
So let me ask you
And
this.
DH, Ryan O'Hearn from the Orioles.
Oh, that's true, Ryan
That's
O'Hearn.
that's your all-star.
That's
So of that group, Ralph,
yes, sir.
who do you think should have made it instead of those players? Is there anybody who got jaded, who got shafted?
What's his name from the Mariners?
Good old what's his name? Oh, I love
is it
that guy. He's my favorite.
CJ or CP? I can't remember his name. I think he could have been an outfielder instead of Green. But nah, American League actually I'm pretty good with. I think they got it for the most part right.
So you don't think Mike Trout should have made it?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I think the American League got it right.
You think so?
I'm going to stick with that.
Okay.
What does Red Panda think, Phil?
Oh!
What in the
He fell.
What show is
No,
this?
That was an owl.
Had
to
wow.
curve it at the end there, so that way it was emphasized that it was pain, not
Do you think they got
something
it right,
else.
Phil?
what was that?
Do you think they got it right in the AL?
Yeah, yeah. I
You
do.
got it right. Gave it
got
to
it
him right
right
in
in
the
the
AL.
Power right in the AL.
We got it.
What an
All right.
all-star. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
What
right,
is
so-
this show? My God. Independence Day has made us loopy. I love it.
How about the National
Wait,
League?
did you think they got it right in the AL?
I feel like I'm comfortable with that.
You're comfortable?
I'm comfortable.
Like when they tell you there's nothing else they can do, they make you comfortable?
That's pretty much what
Alright,
it is.
Just like I'm
Make-
comfortable with declaring that if you start to lose games, you might fall back in the division. race.
That's right. That's
All
right.
Let's look at the NL. Catcher, Will Smith, Dodgers.
Easy.
First
Ding.
baseman, Freddie Freeman, Dodgers.
Ding.
You know what?
He's having a great year.
He is, except
He had a bad month and he's still having a great
he
year.
had a great year. Yeah. If Pete Alonso had snuck in there, I wouldn't have been totally upset. But yeah, I'm glad Freddie made it.
Second base, Ketel Marte from your Diamondbacks.
Yep, I think it's well deserved. He's been good for a while. As we were told last year, emphatically by a certain former co-host who's not here anymore, Ketel Marte was the MVP of the second half last year. Wow.
Third base, Manny Douchebag Machado from the Padres.
How do you feel? How do you feel about Manny?
He's a great player, but I
Hustling
can't
his
stand
way to another All-Star selection again.
him. Yeah, hustling. He's a great defensive third baseman.
Yeah, he runs slower than me to
He
first.
has a big arm. I gave him that. His arm.
He
His
does.
arm is crazy.
It's good.
Shortstop, Francisco Lindor of the Mets.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that one.
What would you have put instead?
I think I would have put, a little guy named Mookie.
Of course you would.
I think Mookie's had a heck of a year at shortstop. But
He's-
I mean, I understand Lindor making it. I'm okay with it, actually.
Yeah, me too.
Now, outfield, I have a problem with.
Okay.
Kyle Tucker from the Cubs, I agree with.
Yes, love him.
Pete Crow Armstrong, absolutely.
Yes, 100%.
Ronald Acuna Jr., absolutely not.
Really?
He made it by name only. It's the only reason he's there.
Yeah.
Who did he displace?
Pages from the Dodgers. Absolutely. Pages leads is top 5 in many categories in
Of
the
course.
National League. But he is. I mean, he's having a great year. He's one of the top guys in the league this year. He deserves to be starting. He'll be on the team, but he should be starting.
And then, of course, designated hitter. That's no question because
Shohei.
everybody voted for him. Wasn't he the top vote getter of all
The
votes?
only
I think Judge.
Yeah,
didn't he?
Judge beat him.
The
That
only one
doesn't
who-
surprise
yeah, I
me.
was gonna say the only one. There's two that could have possibly qualified, like Devers and Schwarber.
Rafael Devers.
Devers, by coming over from the American League, he was going to. I think that's his.
That's
Does
yeah.
that
That,
disqualify you mid of it, or
I
is
think
it?
it does because he's
'Cause
going
his
against
numbers
Guys.
can you imagine playing for the American League with it being in the National League team? That would
He
be
couldn't
funny.
come over to the National League and displace somebody that's been there all season.
Yeah,
I don't
because
believe.
well, okay, because there hasn't there been like players that get traded during the All-Star break who play and it just kind of gets wonky.
It can.
Yeah,
I don't. I mean, he's had a good year. I think he just didn't get there because fans got turned off by the stuff he was pulling. With
100%. Like he's not getting like a travel vote by the Boston Red Sox being like,
he didn't get the Red Sox Nation behind him.
No. And then the Giants, he's so fresh that I mean they could vote him, but it would be like, you know, it's fine.
I think Acuna Jr. for me is the only guy that stands out. That's a name recognition pick.
Yeah, I think so. So now that we have decided on these, and obviously the reserves are going to be picked at some point, I think tomorrow.
It's tomorrow, yeah.
But they're also going to pick the pitchers. So Ralph,
to me, that's easy.
Who do you think is going to be the starters and potentially some reserve candidates for each league?
I mean, your starters, American League should be Skubal from the Tigers.
Terrence Skubal?
Yeah, Skubal.
Scooby-Doo?
Scooper Duper.
Scooby-Doo, start the All-Star game. Rostro. I love the Tiger.
Wow. That's pretty good.
We got two. You got two of us on here.
All right, Rutro.
Sorry.
Dang.
I
picture him talking like this at his date last night.
Or trust me, when it gets time to get down to business in the in the household,
he breaks out the Scooby-Doo. Is that what gets it going? Scooby-Doo. Zoic's like, we're gonna get it on, man. Oh, hey, Shaggy.
Oh my God.
All right, we're gonna walk away from that one.
Okay, so I said
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo.
Who else?
I don't know. I'm kind of perplexed now.
Yeah, you are.
So Scooby-Doo in the American League, and I think Skeens will probably start.
Oh, probably. Yeah. He's got both name
else?
and production behind him.
Who else could start in the National League?
Hunter
Verlander?
Brown from the Astros.
Or not Verlander.
I'm sorry, American League. Hunter Brown from the Astros.
Okay.
Scherzer
He could start.
Scherzer's been doing all right.
Crochet from the Red Sox as
Yes.
another candidate. DeGrom could be a candidate. Fried could be a candidate.
Max
those
Fried.
are all guys that.
Fried probably. Yeah.
How about Joe Ryan with the Cardinals?
Well, I was talking American League.
Oh.
And in the National League, Logan Webb has had a really good first half. Zach Wheeler for the Phillies has had a really good.
Logan Webb has been great.
Hunter Brown.
Do any Diamondbacks deserve consideration?
No.
Pitchers?
Yes.
No. Are you kidding? That's
Sorry, that was
the funniest thing you said all
that was a trick question.
But they should have his pitching coach on the staff.
Before we go to the National League, should we go to a break?
Is it break time?
It's right there.
Are you sure, Scooby?
we blew through the break.
Time to
man.
go to a break.
We are so
Okay,
bad.
From now on, the rest of the show, we need to go to a break. You need to say it as Scooby-Doo, and when we go live, you need to say it as Scooby-Doo.
You're live.
It's a weekend. You know what? Can you say it's a Weekend Warriors on 1580 The Fanatic as Scooby-Doo?
It's the Weekend Warriors. I don't know if I can do this. Sorry. It's the Weekend Warriors on 1580 The Fanatic.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Live and local.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. Just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Everyone has a fave Wendy's Frosty flavor. And when you're choosing from chocolate or vanilla, it's not that hard. But now there's all new Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions. So try picking your fave from Oreo Brownie Fusion, Pop-Tarts Strawberry Fusion, Strawberry Swirl, Brownie Batter Swirl, Caramel Swirl, and Caramel Crunch Fusion. Not so easy now, huh? For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary by location. Oreo is a trademark of Mondelez International Group. Pop-Tarts is a trademark of Kellogg North America Co., LLC.
All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open-air zoo, when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. That's when the afternoon took an exciting turn. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful DC turbo engine, well, we had more than enough time to see all the animals. Whoa! And outrun a few!
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now, Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000 MSRP. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. 2024 Nissan Altima, Kicks, Leaf, Rogue, Sentra, and Versa. All prices are manufacturer suggested retail price. Manufacturer suggested retail price excludes destination and handling charges, tax, title, license, and options. Dealer sets actual prices.
1580 The Fanatic. And at 1580thefanatic.com. Your home for sports.
Weekend Warriors here on 1580.
It's a party in the USA, and you need to get involved in this party in the USA. We got a couple of segments left. We want to hear from you. Hit us up on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580.
Text in, say hi, see what's going on. Also, comment on our live social media streams. Live social media streams, X, YouTube, and Facebook.
All right.
And on the 1580X account. I got to say that now, too.
All right. On the text line, Thundar the Santa Barbarian. That's interesting.
Boo,
Boo, Machado. Boo. Boo.
Boo that man.
I'm with you. Santa, I'm with you. Bitter Dolphin fan says, I like Neil's idea for another Legal Clark, but she'd do it in Europe. We know how the European fans can be. They would treat her like a queen.
They actually
Do we
would,
know
because
that?
they actually value basketball.
And then they'd overthrow her.
What the?
Let them eat Caitlin K. Clark. I don't know. There's a joke
That's
in there.
weird.
somewhere in
Okay,
there.
that was
that was odd.
You were,
I didn't
you
like
were
it even
reaching
as
for
I
that
was
one,
playing.
brother. I appreciate
Yeah.
the effort, though.
See, I'll go back to that.
I
know my
the
lane.
effort. So it's like I appreciate the effort, man.
Let me ski away.
That's a pretty good. Oh no, he's skiing. Scooby on skis.
Listen, don't make me break out my Casey Kasem.
Please don't.
I'm Casey Kasem.
That's pretty
All
darn
right, Neil,
good.
you said you wanted to touch on something.
Do I want to
touch something?
Well, I know I don't want to touch on it because I do actually. So I know that obviously we're approaching the trade deadline.
Yes.
In Major League Baseball.
Yes.
So there's a lot of speculation. The two things you have to decide if you're a team is, are you a buyer or a seller? Like, are you going to be going into this looking for talent to bolster your playoff run, or are you going to kind of clear the deck, clear some salary cap space, get ready for next year? There is a name that has been thrown around quite a bit, and obviously with the injury to Max Muncy, there was some hot speculation about it. And now that we know he's going to only be out for 6 weeks, that speculation has faltered, at least as far as the Dodgers are concerned. But there are plenty of other teams who are very well positioned for a deep playoff run who could absolutely use a third baseman. And we know who one of the names being thrown around as potential trade person is Eugenio Suarez, or as the guy as the announcer at Chase Field says, Eugenio Suarez. He might be gone. You might see him go.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, because here's the question. I know the Diamondbacks are 12.5 out right now.
Yes.
And things are looking grim for the division, but they're still in the wild card race. right? I mean,
I
they're
guess
still
that's true.
there.
Yeah.
So because
Barely.
of that, they have to make
Yeah.
a decision. Are they going to go ahead and fight and maybe go after some pitching? They need middle relief. They need a starter. Are they going to do that in free agency, or are they going to just call it a year?
I think it depends. So the trade deadline's the end of the month, I think. Obviously, we have the All-Star break, and then we'll see what happens afterwards. But I think that next couple of weeks is going to be, or the next week or two is going to be
I
critical
agree.
because I think if the Diamondbacks can show any life whatsoever, I think they're buyers. I think they'll be trying to get into that because here's the problem right now. Listen, if they were in any other division, they'd be doing really well, but they're in the NL West and they're 4th. I thought by this point we would see the real Diamondbacks emerge, or at least the one that I thought. Well, the one I thought we were going to see, which is I thought we're going to see because I thought they were going to be contenders for the NL West. I really did, and I'm still holding out the faintest of hope for that. But ultimately,
No.
I just think the Giants and the Padres have been the Giants are the surprise.
They're falling apart though.
I know, but they're still
Slowly, though.
Yeah,
Slowly.
slowly. It's a slow burn. They're not just losing it all at once. But my goodness, the Padres and the Giants, they're the ones keeping the Diamondbacks potentially out of
right now. The
contention.
Diamondbacks are 4.5 games out in the wild card, which it doesn't sound like a lot, but in a wild card race, because you have to go through so many teams, it's actually that's a lot. 4.5.
Okay.
With
I
like
think-
3 to 4, well, I guess 4 if you're counting the last team, 4 teams
Right.
ahead of them. Like it's not just 4.5; it's behind 4 teams.
Yes, exactly. And so, yeah, there's 4 teams ahead of you that are trying to catch the top 2, which are the Mets and the Brewers. Those are the 2 top wild card teams. And so that's tough. That's really tough. I think if they slip to 7, 8, even 9 games out in the wild card, that could be where they throw up the white flag. Very possibly, because at that point, you're probably not going to get into the wild card.
See, and I think that's the important part here, Rob. Is like I think you phrased it as like, what would you do if you're the
Right.
I don't think that's necessary, because I think all 3 of us would be like, you guys are not making it. You guys are should be sellers, and you should. That I don't think that the Diamondbacks are in that position. Not only in just their management, but their general manager. They both seem tied together, meaning that if you get rid of one, you get rid of both. And so I think that even if it's not by like rational reason, if it's not by like anything sensical, I think that they're trying to go for it. And probably ownership is like, we're not going to be buyers. We're not going to allow you to do anything. But, we'll let you not sell the team, like not sell the team, but sell pieces off at the trade deadline. Like, we'll allow you to not do that. So that way we can see what like maybe this half fledgling semblance of the team that began the season even can do. Maybe they can muster up a win streak or something that is just improbable, maybe. But I don't think that from within that they will allow themselves to be a seller. Like, I don't think that benefits anybody who is in possible firing range as of right now.
I tell you what, if I'm the Diamondbacks, and not that I want this to happen because I really don't, but if I'm the Diamondbacks, I call the Dodgers.
And do what?
And I would say,
hey,
I've got this third baseman. And Suarez is a good third baseman.
He is. Yes, he's very
got
good.
Good
Yeah.
numbers. I mean, he's their best player probably. So we got this guy. What we really need is pitching. And I would try to work out a trade for probably 2-3 arms that the Dodgers have. Maybe one that's currently on the major league roster. Maybe ask for Sheehan, someone like that. But they've got enough talent in the pitching side where they could probably get 2 or 3 really good arms that they can bring over that can make a difference in the future.
I know 2 arms
You know
they
what
can
I mean?
have right now.
No. So I know what you're going to say.
Kasparius and Dreyer.
Well, Kasparius, yeah, I mean, but I would go after like Edward Sheehan.
They're not going to let Emmett Sheehan go.
There's Bobby Miller sitting in the minors.
Bobby Miller potentially.
There's a lot of guys in the minors, especially that are just sitting there that would be on major league rosters any other team.
We know Bobby Miller can take a pitch to the head
Right.
or a
But
batted ball to the head.
They can
so
make
that's
their
fine.
team better by doing this.
Yes.
It's a smart move. It makes it's like the football team that goes after the offensive line, right? It's a smart move. It's something you're going to need to do. You don't have it in your farm system. They have a plethora of it in their farm system. You're going to have to give up a third base, but you know what? You already have no problem scoring runs. That's not your issue. You need to be able to stop the other team from scoring, and you need pitching to do that. And that would be a very smart move for them. I don't know if they're smart enough to figure that out, but that's what they should be doing.
We will see. We will see what happens.
I mean,
But
that's just what I would do.
But now here, okay, so I would like to officially move on from Major League Baseball because we
You're
have
very abrupt.
That's what she said. So
Scooby.
I would. So here's. So I feel like that all this talk about Suarez. Okay. Well, so I'm sorry. Let's not be abrupt.
No, I'm done.
You're done.
He's finished.
I was going to say, because the other question is who beside, and this finishes my. Yeah, I'm not really good at the transitions, man. I got to work on that stuff.
Yeah.
For Suarez, who would pick him up? So take the Dodgers out of the equation. Who could use someone at third base like him for the playoff run? The Yankees, because Chaz Chisholm isn't good at.
I just hate that name.
Chaz Chisholm.
I
mean, Jazz Chisholm.
There's so much wrong with that name.
Yeah, I know. I don't understand it. Jazz Chisholm. I don't think he's. I know he's struggling at third. He has since last year. Maybe they need him for that, and they can put Jazz somewhere else, like second.
Red Sox.
Red Sox.
The Red Sox could use
if the Red Sox are buyers, though, I don't know if they're buyers.
Technically, they are. I mean, they're top 4 within their league. I know it's weird, but
it doesn't. Yeah, I mean, possibly. So that's the other question: is where would he go? I don't even.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. So let's move on. So I know that Ralph has been absolutely dying to talk about this. In fact, yesterday morning, in honor of Ralph, I actually pulled up ESPN on my phone while laying in bed. I was too lazy to get up to watch the introductions to the Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Ralph, tell us about this.
This is real sports.
Tell us
Shove
about
a wiener in your mouth and shove it.
Tell us about this year's contest, sir.
Well, so you had Joey Jaws Chestnut that came back after he basically revolted last year. They couldn't come to an agreement on some things, so he did not show up last year.
Yeah, that was breaking.
It was
heartbreaking and breaking news.
It was breaking. So that
it was breaking.
Something broke.
It was breaking.
All right. So anyway, so he didn't show up last year. He came back this year triumphantly with 70.5 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes. Not breaking a record, but breaking my heart. That's a lot of hot dogs.
How did that break your heart?
I don't know.
Because he's been building breaking a record.
Because Ralph wishes he could eat garbage like that.
70
and he can't.
Can you imagine eating 70 and a half hot dogs and buns?
I can't imagine. I don't think I've eaten 70 hot dogs in my life.
And they talked to him afterwards.
And he
what
said,
did he say?
He said,
yeah, I know.
Does it sound good?
Does it count as eating if he is as soon as he's off camera, like in 20 minutes, he's like, because your body cannot hold all
that again.
That's the sound of throwing up. You're going to be a great dad someday. Your kids are going to always remember that.
Yeah. See, there you go. Yeah. See, that's either I can't tell now that you vocalized it for me. It's either coming in or coming out. I just can't exactly tell.
Oh my. Anyway. Oh my God. So Joey Chestnut back in the game. He says he's coming back next year. He's got 17 mustard belts, going for number 18. On the women's side, Mika Sudo, 33 hot dogs and buns. Not quite the record she broke last. She had 54 last year. 33 this year was good enough to win.
More buns is always better.
When my woman can eat 54 hot dogs and buns, she can get whatever she wants.
I don't like the hot dog eating one as much as I enjoy. I actually enjoy it. Maybe it's just how I actually eat. But I enjoy the lemonade drinking one.
Oh, I saw that. You see that one guy just.
Oh, he Ralphied it.
Gross.
Yeah, he was just coming talk about in the splash zone. The first 3 waves, levels of fans sitting fans they just got absolutely wrecked on. They just he wasn't even nice about it. He wasn't just in one little area. No, he was going like a fire breathing dragon, just going just all over. And so everybody you get a little spittle, you get a little lemonade, you get a little secondhand lemonade. It was gross.
So, and I want to make sure I mention this before I forget. And I thank you for the segue there. In the women's side, on the women's side,
thank you, Ralph.
We do have to acknowledge.
Okay.
Second place goes to Tucson's very own Michelle Lesko.
Yeah, she only had 22.
Yeah, but she's from Tucson. We got to celebrate the local people.
That tracks.
Tucson's Michelle Lesko got second place. What tracks?
Second place in Tucson.
I'm just going to say this is one of my favorite events every year. I love this event. I'm glad it's on. I still want to get out there and I want to be there live. I'm hoping maybe next year. Me and my daughter have talked about it since she was very young. We want to get out there, so it's
maybe we should do a live.
I would love to
a live show.
It's my mom's stomping grounds back in Coney Island, and we're going to do this. So
we should fly out there. Hey, what do you think, Phil? Next year,
I'd be willing to
do the Weekend Warrior show live from the Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
I'd love it. I'd be willing to host a competition between you two boys. I can wear the whole pinup suit and everything and just come out there. We can call them Phil's hot dogs, and you just stuff a bunch of wieners and buns down your mouth.
All right. Anyway. One last thing, because I know we're getting close to a break again, and then we have a special segment, my favorite segment of always.
All time.
But USA and Mexico both made it to the CONCACAF Gold Cup. So that's tomorrow as we talk Independence Weekend. And we got USA, young team, new coach who's been I don't think they've lost a single game in this tournament, going up against Mexico, who's playing really well right now as well. So the USA knocked out Guatemala, who was the Cinderella of the tournament. They beat them 2-0, I think.
Get back down there, Cinderella.
And Mexico, I think Mexico beat Honduras one day.
They did.
Where is the final game going to be held?
It is in Houston. So this will be a
poor
pro-Mexico crowd, which that usually is when these two teams face anyway. It's usually a lot heavier on the Mexico side.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
A lot of these guys on the U.S. team have never experienced this, so this will be different for them. They're not going to be used to being on homeland soil, but actually being the underdog. And they are a slight underdog in this game. Mexico is obviously the more experienced team. USA, this is like the 1980 U.S. Olympic team. They are young, but they are hungry, and they are playing really well right now. So that should be a really good game tomorrow.
Too bad they have to experience it in Houston. Oh,
I know.
Nothing but
And
strip
our
clubs and
NRG
Red
stadiums,
Lobster.
Yeah, it sucks too.
Wow. Okay. Let's
It'll
throw
be a
shade at
pro
Houston.
Mexico crowd tomorrow. I guarantee you. Guaranteed. When the U.S. beat Guatemala, it was a pro Guatemalan crowd.
Now that's a little surprising, but
And
okay.
that was in St. Louis. Guess there's a lot of Guatemalans in St. Louis. I don't know.
Well, they travel. Well,
they used to until anyway.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
it's time for a break.
it's time for a Scooby Dooby Doo break. When we come back, go have your Scooby Bites. When we come back,
Snacks.
I got a couple for you, Scooby.
Scooby snacks.
Calm down. Shaggy?
Zoinks, like you got we're gonna do our favorite segment of all time, man.
K.
No, it's not.
Mejor.
It's Quien,
All right.
Quien Fue Mejor, you Philistine.
Stay tuned for K My Whore. So
No.
Weekend Warriors on 1580, the Scooby Fanatics.
Zoinks.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Live and local.
You hear that? That's Mike sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. That's because Mike was smart this time. He took ZQL Ultra to fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs. So now he wakes up refreshed and ready to conquer Mondays.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. T&Cs apply.
To all my friends in Arizona, you don't need Gary Kaltbaum to tell you that your power costs are going up astronomically year after year. Last year, APS had a huge rate increase, which impacted so many families. This year, it's SRP's turn. There is a good chance that the federal solar tax credit, your hard-earned federal tax dollars that you will receive and that pays 30% of your solar system, may be going away at the end of December. But I'm here to tell you about the Solar Sandy solution. Don't regret not going solar now. The Solar Sandy power bills were very close to zero, and for over 10 years, my friend Solar Sandy has been helping Arizona families and getting them the federal and state tax credit that helps pay for it. When those bills go up, there's nobody helping you pay your increased power bills. So go to AskSolarSandy.com. That's AskSolarSandy.com and fill out her kilowatt worksheet today. That's AskSolarSandy.com.
As we plan for our retirement, there are 4 questions we need to ask ourselves or our retirement planning advisor. How much? How long? How safe? And what cost? Let's start with how much. That is how much income we think we'll need each and every year for the rest of our lives, including all the activities we want to enjoy during our retirement, like travel, recreation, and entertainment. Plus the cost of housing, including repair and maintenance, taxes, insurance, and utilities, as well as the cost of healthcare, including expenses not covered by Medicare.
Enjoy safe, secure lifetime income of 5 to 9% for life, depending on age and deferral period, with no fee deductions and no annuitizing. Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so let's compare free in Scottsdale. For more, visit IQannuity.com, IQannuity.com, IQannuity.com.
Your home for sports.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
It's time. Great. Oh, I'm so excited. Man. No, please. Our fans are the lifeblood of the show. Yeah.
All right. Sundar
Renda, the sender of a dummy.
Baker's cocky hands back on text line says Solar Sandy sounds so hot. Enjoy the weekend, guys. Wow, really? She sounds hot.
That's weird.
Is it a she?
I don't know, Scooby. All right, here we go. My favorite segment. Let's go ahead and play the intro.
Why don't we?
¿Quién fue mejor? Who was better?
All right, everybody, it's America's favorite game show, Quien Fue Mejor. And I don't know why Ralph laughs every time I say that in Spanish.
It's incredible.
That's weird. Yeah, that's not your wife screaming. That was from Three Amigos. Anyway, so, and you told me before. So here's how the game works. I will, and the contestants are Ralph and Phil. I will give them a topic, a category, and give them 2 entries. And they have to decide which one of the entries was better, hence the term Quien Fue Mejor. All right? So,
say it again.
Quien fue mejor? He likes how I trill my R at the
Love
end.
how you roll that.
He likes that. He likes that tongue
titillates.
action.
It does a little something.
Wow. All right. So here we go. Topic. We got to go through this pretty quick. We only got a few minutes. Here we go. WNBA. The topic. First one is WNBA All-Star voting. By the way, these are where each one gets points. So there's winners, but they're kind of not winners. But whatever. Everybody wins because we're playing this.
Well,
game.
Phil's never beat me in this, so go ahead.
That's true. Here we go.
Is that true?
WNBA All-Star voting.
Okay.
Who was voted the best point guard by the media? Okay. Was it, or excuse me, here we go. Quien fue mejor? Paige Beckers?
Yes.
Oh, Caitlin Clark. This is voting by the media.
Oh, by the media.
Yeah, this is not the fans, not the players. All-Star. Who in the media, who got more votes?
I'll go first. I'll go with Caitlin Clark.
Okay, so we got
That's true. That's my answer. Also.
Phil says Caitlin Clark, and Ralph says Caitlin Clark. You are both correct. Phil was very intrepid in saying that, but Paige Beckers got 5 votes, or she was voted 5th overall. Caitlin Clark was voted 3rd overall. So congratulations, you both got a point. All right, here we go. Next one. This is a Major League Baseball topic.
Okay.
And no cheating from the fans out there. Do this from memory, like the old days. You know, don't pull up your Google or your Chat GPT and figure this out. Here we go. Major League Baseball. This is according to DraftKings. This is current odds to win in the Major League, or excuse me, in the National League West. Current odds to win the NL West. ¿Quién fue mejor? The San Francisco Giants or the Arizona Diamondbacks?
Which one's odds are better?
Yeah, who has better odds to win the NL West?
I'll go.
According to DraftKings right now.
Sorry, Ralph, you go first.
I feel like this is a trick question. Is Neil tricky? Is he sneaky? I'm going to say the Giants.
Okay, so Ralph says the Giants. What say you, Phil?
I don't think he's being a sneaky mejor, so I will go with the Giants.
Okay, that is correct. The Giants are at plus 4,000, and the Arizona Diamondbacks are at plus 15,000. So
Wow.
you're both tied still going into this. It's 2-2.
Dos.
Very proud of you guys. Very nice. Very nice on the
Si.
Spanish. Okay, we got one more Major League Baseball category. Here we go. This is a fun one. Active players with the most all-star appearances. Active players with the most all-star appearances. ¿Quién fue mejor? Craig Kimbrell o Max Scherzer?
Oh, this is not the one that I wanted to be leading the charge on. Kimbrel's pretty close, but I'm going to go with Scherzer.
Okay, Scherzer. How about you, Ralph?
Music in the background, dude.
I know. We need to have some something. We'll do that next time. What do you got?
I'm going to go Scherzer, too.
Okay, you are both wrong.
Really?
Craig Kimbrell has 9 all-star appearances, while Max Scherzer only has 8.
Wow.
So you're both still tied 2-2. All right, here we go. Next one. NFL. We're gonna fast forward to the National Football League. Thank you. Can you turn down just a second? Thank you. I love that. That's perfect. All right, here we go. Quién fue mejor? This is perfect. All right. Now this is another DraftKings one show. Super Bowl odds. What are the Super Bowl odds? The odds for one of these teams to be Super Bowl champions. This is current as of DraftKings as of this point. Who has better odds to win the Super Bowl according to DraftKings? Okay. ¿Quién fue mejor? The Seattle Seahawks. Oh. Oh.
You get to go first.
I know. I'm so great. The Seattle Seahawks. Oh. The Chicago. I'm going to say the Seahawks. Oh, wow. Okay, you say Seahawks. What say you, Phil?
That is tough because the Bears have a much tougher division, but the Seahawks are really bad. I'm going to.
Wow.
I'm going to go with I'm going to go with. I'll be fun. I'll go with the Bears.
All right, here we go. The Seahawks are plus 6,000. The Bears are plus 4,000. So the winner is the Bears. Phil takes the lead, 3-2. All right, here we go. Next one. So we have finished all the sports ones. The next three are just for fun. So here we go. The next one is fireworks. Which state? This is the state in the U.S. with the most per capita consumption of fireworks. In other words, which state spends the most per person on fireworks? ¿Quién fue mejor? Missouri or Kansas?
Probably I'll go first. I'm leading. I'll probably go Kansas. I don't think Missouri can.
Wow, that's a shot. Hey, what do you think, sir? Okay, so here we go. Missouri spends $13.84 per capita on fireworks. Kansas spends $8.79 on per capita. So the winner is Missouri. Ralph ties the game. By the way, where did Arizona end up?
Number 2 in the nation.
So by the way, Missouri is number 1 nationwide. Kansas is number 2 nationwide. Where did Arizona end up on that?
8.
32nd.
Wow.
38 cents per person is how much Arizona spends. Now, based on what I heard last night, I don't believe that at all.
That's all under unreported, under the table, like
I think that's there are measurements wrong.
Citizen only.
Okay. Anyway, so now we got 2 more categories. You got to make sure we get this before we get the show. Pop music. Top Billboard. So this is for a top 100 Billboard rankings for 1985. Which of these songs was rated higher for 1985 in the Billboard Top 100? And Fly Mejor. Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears or Money for Nothing by Dire Straits. Okay.
I'll go with the other one just to be fun.
Okay, so here we go. Money for Nothing, Dire Straits was 8 in 1985 on the top 100 Billboard rankings. Everybody Wants to Rule the World was 7. So Phil is leading. Phil is leading, and I think so. Here we go. Here's the last one. Here we go. The last one. This topic is government. Which country is better? The original
America.
13. Okay. ¿Quién fue mejor? ¿Quién?
Yes.
The original 13 colonies or the British Empire? Who was better? Who was better?
13
13 colonies.
13 colonies. All right, well, that was an easy one. That was an Independence Day weekend one. The original colonies. So here's the final tally. Would you like to know this?
Sure.
So what were you saying before that Phil's never beaten in this?
Never beat.
Okay. Ever. Phil, or I would start with Ralph. Ralph has 4 points. Phil has 5. Phil, you are the winner.
The first time you have defeated Ralph at our famous game.
Oh man, I thought I queued you up better than that.
Yeah, you queued me up for like 2 seconds. I got to get rid of music.
All right, here we go.
All right.
So thanks for playing on the Weekend Warriors' favorite game show.
¿Quién fue mejor? Who was better?
Thanks for playing along at home,
All
everybody.
right, on the text line, Thundar the Santa Barbarian says, "Go Ralph." Sorry, Neil. Dodgers fans need to stick together on this station.
Yeah, sorry, Neil. Yeah, sorry, Neil. Yeah, as opposed to like, only the Dodger fans can say. That's
And
hilarious.
Baker's cocky hands on a text line saying, "Enjoy the weekend, guys." Thank you, man. You too.
Appreciate it.
All right. Well,
Does he realize that I've been a Dodger fan as long as you have?
I knew that this was going to grate Neil. I knew that was.
You should have seen his face, dude.
I was just like, what? Well, that's okay.
Come on, Que fue mejor, whatever the heck.
Quien fue mejor?
There you go. You're the station mejor. That was fun.
What in the
I
heck?
love that show.
You love that show. Yeah, you love that segment. I love all the segments, and I do agree that we need to have a musical track on every segment or bit we do. So when we do letters next time, we'll have to find something that we can play during
something
that.
old and British, like something like something like that you could see where somebody wears a wig while riding near a candle.
As long as we don't play that one show ever again.
What, the initials?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you were horrible at that. That's why you
That was
don't like it.
horrible.
Yeah,
no,
Ralph,
it's horrible because you didn't do well at it. That's
yet
why.
again, Ralph, that was all on you. You were just awful at that.
You were
game.
at that.
That game
Great.
was stupendous, and you
were
Ralph,
horrible.
You were just.
I bought a knife
Unhinged.
after that game and started slicing myself.
Oh my god!
You did not. You were just mad that
It was so bad I had to leave for the second hour.
That's true. Yeah, he did. He's like, I'm out of here, man.
Well, we did it. We did an Independence Day.
We
weekend
won
show.
Independence.
Thundar Svac says, "Take it easy, guys. Sorry, Neil. Now the other two from Daily Blender. So what? Not the other two from Daily Blender. So didn't realize you bleed blue too. Oh, so he didn't realize you bled too. You bled blue. He thought you were a Diamondback guy. No, Neil is a true diehard Dodger.
I am not a hater of any particular team except the Astros, but I don't even really hate them that much anymore. Only Altuve.
Well, everybody, I hope you still have all your fingers from last night. It
That's
was
right.
loud last night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks for spending a little sliver of it with the Weekend Warriors. Hope you had fun. Today's show was kind of off the rails. but we
Sliver
had a
and
good
shiver.
time. We will see you next week on this show. Same time, same channel. It's Weekend Warriors on 1580 The Fanatic.
Staples presents That Was Easy.